the occasion. With ATL, you can never be out of step.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show. This is The Couch. My name is Amma Pratt, and we are live. We are live this lovely, rainy, cool Sunday. What am I saying? Friday evening. And I'm a little too excited. I think I need to calm myself down. Calm down just a little bit. Lovely to come your way again this Friday with the personality profile edition of the show. Now, it's not every day you get to, interview my guest in the studio. We've done it. I think this will be our third time. And every time we do it, I'm psyched. Like I'm so psyched. So excited. I know that this evening conversation is going to be just a little bit different from the other ones that you've seen. I think the first one was me gushing, and gushing over my offer. And then the second time we came to announce to you the big move, of KS. What am I doing? I just give it away. to Pan African TV. And this evening we are here for a different kind of conversation. My guest in the studio is somebody that I greatly, I was going to say admire, and I thought adore. Both words work equally. I love this man for who he is, for what he's done with everything that God has given him, all his many talents. The story about giving back when God gave talents and people what they did with talents. I think that when this man gets the gates of heaven, God is going to say, come through. You did excellently with all the talents that I gave you. And for just being so consistent over the years, for building this solid, amazing brand that's been so consistent forever, and for still being relevant. I don't know how he does that, for still being relevant even today. So, my guest for this evening, and we'll get to know him more. And today I'm going to make his head swell because I want to say everything I've always wanted to say to him. I'm going to say I'm going to pile it all on him. I'm piling it up on him today. My guest, your man, my man, the man, KSL.
Hey, what's the show?
Min started here.
What's starting for?
Min started here. I haven't even started. It's great to see you.
It's really great to be on the couch.
It's great to see.
I'm proud to be on the couch because the couch has become a very. We're talking about relevance. This show is relevant, man.
Oh, thank you.
If you want to be relevant, you have to keep up with the couch.
You have to. Thank you.
So I'm glad to be on the couch.
We are happy, excited, exhilarated to have you.
Thank you.
Have you here. But Wafa, it's been a while. I mean, the viewers were asking questions. For a while. You were not. I mean, not to say that we don't love your niece. We do.
I know you do.
We
I know
do.
You do.
But you were missing in action.
I was missing in action
for a while.
Yeah. Well, I took a small break, and it was a medical break.
Right.
It was a medical break, and as things were going on, I realized it was very, very necessary to take care of the medical aspect,
Right.
And the truth of the matter is that, let me tell you how this happened,
Right.
I had a friend who worked at the Pulse, where I do gymming. He's not an instructor. I think he was with the PR department at Pulse. And one time he called me and said, okay, Sam, I'm no longer at Pulse. I'm working with this new clinic. It's called the American Rejuvenation Clinic or something.
Right.
So why don't you come and do a test? It says it's an all-male clinic. So you just come and test. You never know. And I said, okay. Remember. And trust me, I said that just to get him off my back.
Right.
But he called me until it got to a point where I said, this guy is called Gideon. Yeah? So, Gideon, look at that too.
Right.
I'm going to do checkup now.
Right.
So I went to the clinic and the doctor did some tests, quite a few tests, And then he did what they call the PSA. Now, men of my age and older, and even younger, I think every month when you hit 40, start paying attention to your PSA. The PSA measures your prostate.
Right.
I think the full thing is prostate specific antigen. I don't know what it means medically,
Right.
but it's a measurement of your prostate and whatever, you know. So I did a test. And so the guy called me and says, oh, the doctor wants to see you. And sometimes when you do a test and the doctor wants to see you, it's
I mean,
ASMP. You know. But so no, it's okay, you know, he just wants to have a chat with you because, you know, he wants to whatever. So I went to see the doc. And he says the results of my PSA came and the numbers were too high for his liking. You know. Ordinarily, and man, if you are listening, the normal range is between 0 and 4.
0 and 4.
That means you are normal. 0 to 4. When your PSA is 0 to 4, you are normal, you're good. I mean, it could be slightly above 4, 5, 6. You're still good. Guess where mine was?
Where?
56.
What? 56? 0 to 4?
Yeah.
56?
5, 6, yeah. So he told me that 56 is high. And the thing they tell you is this, that it's a disease for black men, you know. And men generally, but more blacks have it.
56?
56. So he said the numbers were a bit high for his liking. And so he wanted to do further tests.
Right.
You know, so he wanted me to come to his clinic so that he does a test called biopsy, prostate biopsy. And with the biopsy, he can tell whether I have any benign or malign or whatever cells, whatever they call those things, you know. So honestly, the week that I was supposed to go to do the test, I was going to my daughter's wedding in the US. Aww. So I said, Charlie, let me go and enjoy myself small, and I'll do the biopsy when I get there. Right. So I got there and I got in touch with my doc there, and I told him about everything. He said, so come, let's do the PSA again. So I went back and we redid the PSA, and it was around the same thing. Wow. I think this time quite a jump to 57. Hey. So he said the same thing my Ghanaian doctor said. He said we have to do a biopsy. Okay? And so that they can tell, you know. And what frightened him was that my eldest brother, may he rest in peace, you know, he died of prostate cancer. His daughter is the one who is sitting in for me when I'm not there. So it's not even my niece. Which are technically Miba. Yes, you know. You know, so when they heard that my eldest brother suffered and died from prostate, they sort of panicked. Right. Because family history is very, very important when you're checking things like this, you know. Right. So they said, wow, how old was he? And I said, 62. And I am 65, you know, so that was red flags for them. Said, no, we have to do the biopsy. So I went and they did the biopsy, and it takes a while for the results to come out. They have to check this and all sorts of things, you know. And when it was all ready, they did a video conference with me. I didn't go to the hospital, just through video, you know, the doctor, his assistant, blah, blah, blah. And I was sitting in the car too with me, my wife and my daughters, you know. And he talked plenty. He talked plenty about this, and we found out this, that, but at the bottom line, the thing he said was that we have detected cancer. I was numb. You know, that C word is something you don't want to hear. You know, and all the time I was waiting for the results, I said, "Oh, I know my prostate has been enlarged." Right. And men, please listen to this. The fact that you have an enlarged prostate does not necessarily mean you have cancer. No, right. It could be any other thing. Right. Even age. When they're growing, can get enlarged, you know, simply. So I'm not saying that to scare any man who has enlarged prostate that you have cancer. No. they have to do extra tests, you know.
Right.
So that's what they said in the test. They discovered that I had.
So you're sitting at home
Yeah.
with the missus and the kids, and there's a doctor across from you on a computer.
Yeah.
Who
on the
has
laptop,
just
yeah.
announced to you
Yeah.
that you what's the... I'm imagining this scene play out.
Yeah, I was numb, you know, because, like I was saying, because I work out a lot,
Right.
you know, and I'm very physically active.
Right.
I had the feeling that the results will come. The biopsy, they will say, "Oh well, you have a large biopsy, but there's nothing to worry about." You know, so I wasn't expecting to hear that. Honestly,
So shocking.
Very shocking. So
at this point, are you looking at each other? What's happening? Because
at this point, and my daughters were great. Well, I have sons too, but they're in New York. I was in California now, you know. So I'm sitting down, and I think my wife was sitting to my right, and my daughter was sitting to my left, you know. And my daughter is a doctor as well, you know.
Right.
So the minute the doctor said that I did have cancer, she just took my hand and held my hand, and I couldn't say anything, you know. Was there anything else you want to know? I couldn't say anything. Honestly, it was my wife and my daughter that were asking him questions. I was just sitting down like, damn.
What were you thinking?
Well, I was just listening to him, giving all the options that were available, you know, that they could do,
Right.
you know. At one point he said I had a choice between surgery or radiation,
Right.
you know. And he said surgery, if they discover that the cancer is only in the prostate, you know, then they will do the surgery. And radiation, if they find out the cancer has leaked to other body parts, you know. So if it's in other body parts, you can't just take the prostate and they have to do radiation, you know. So I'm just sitting down, then maybe, you know, I mean, I couldn't process it, honestly.
Wow.
You know, I couldn't believe it. You know, I couldn't believe it. So I don't remember asking any question. It was just my wife asking this, so what about this, and what time, blah, 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 and my daughter, and I'm just sitting there listening to the answers, you know, until finally he said, well, they'll have to do a bone scan to find out if the cancer has crept into the bones. You know, and in order to help them decide whether it's going to be radiation or surgery, they have to do a bone scan as well. So I got another appointment and I went to the hospital and I did a bone scan in the, what's the machine called? I don't remember, but I was in the machine for
that
what?
machine.
Yeah, 30 minutes, you know, do this, hold your breath, breathe out now, turn a bit. I did all sorts of antics in the machine, you know, and then I came out, and then maybe another 3-4 days, the results came out quicker than the biopsy. And so the results came, and he said, luckily for you, we didn't find any in the bones, you know. So it means it hadn't spread into the bones.
Right.
But it could have spread into other body organs, you know, like that.
No, we have to say thank you to Albert. Is it Albert?
Let's look at me. Gideon.
Gideon.
At the hospital.
We have to say thank you to Gideon.
Gideon. And I actually told him anytime I get the chance to be on any, said I'll mention Gideon.
Right.
You know.
We listen, Gideon. Yeah, that's the why. No, seriously.
Yeah. So I went and then I did the bones. I did the bone. So they said now let's do a PET scan.
PET scan.
PET scan, PET as in pet, scan, to see whether the other organs, you know, could be the kidney or the liver or your spine, something, you know. So they went ahead, you know. I went ahead and did the kidney, the PET scan.
Right.
Fortunately, they didn't detect any spread into any of the organs, you know. So at least now they know that, well, it's in the prostate. So that's where the focus is going to be,
Right.
you know. And so basically, they told me that the surgery should be done within 6 months. because these cancer cells only subayo. You know. Yeah, within 6 months they figured they have 6 months to, you know, sort things out and do the surgery within then, because it could just take off, you know, like that, you know. So I sort of said, okay, you know, and I was beginning to now understand that I have to deal with it, Shirley. You know, I've gone for the test. I've realized that I have cancer. There's an option for surgery. Do it, and be free. You know. So I started getting into ready for it. You know, but interesting enough, I took a break. I even came back to Ghana, did a few episodes of my show. You
did the show.
I came and yeah. Because I hadn't prepared for anything, you know. And you know, those of us in showbiz, we're always wondering, okay, so how does the show go on? You know, my daughter was like, you know, the show can basically go to hell, you know.
I mean,
I said, well,
who cares?
I said, well, they said 6 months, so when I'm finding my you know, I came and did the show for about a month or so and all kinds of things, you know. And then
the whole time smiling.
Oh, yeah.
We are out of here.
Yeah. So doing the show, you know, told some family members when I came that this is what has happened, you know, and they couldn't believe I was still carrying on doing the show and everything. I said, well, life must go on in a way, you know. So I did a few shows, and then I called my daughter, my niece daughter. I said, yeah, said, I'm stepping out for a bit. I want you to come and handle the shoes. Hey, uncle! Those shoes? They're too big for me, so you know, and I just felt...
Why hair? Because I would have thought that in the family there'll be some man somewhere. Why hair? Why hair?
Because I talk with her every day. She has a fabulous sense of humor.
Right, she does.
Yeah, and she listens well, she understands well, and I just see how she speaks and everything, and I was like, I think I can handle this thing, you know.
And she's gained some social media prominence.
With her TikTok.
That's where I know her from.
That's where you know her from.
A friend of mine.
Did you go to Adobia's wedding? And interesting enough, before I engaged her before she did all this TikTok.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't because I've seen her doing the TikTok. No. It was just, I used to have a show called, what was the name of the show you're directing?
Sorry, I can't check your call history.
The court case, Odo Wahala. I used to have a show called Odo Wahala, and she was actually, I got her to come and play the judge. And she played it so well. People actually thought she was, in fact, she had a legal background, you know. So that's when I started thinking, I think she can host the show. But I didn't make anything of it, you know. But when I knew I had to leave, and I was thinking, I said, I think, I can handle this thing, you know.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Great choice.
Yeah. And, you know, so I called her. She said, oh, you know, and I did one show and introduced her and said, yeah, they have fired me and all of that. Now really so fired.
Who can fire cancer?
Hannah, my producer and director, they think they have fired me. I have to reapply. Maybe I can get you to go and do a testimonial for me.
For you.
So I did a show and then had a co-host, and then I said, okay, they have fired me, so I'm going. But I was actually going for my checkup. And no, not for my checkup, for my surgery.
For the actual surgery.
Yeah, and I always joke that over there they say surgery, can't they say operation?
Operational.
But yeah, it wasn't too scary because you know that they have now the laparoscopic, they call it Da Vinci, you know, so they don't actually cut you open. This huge surgery they did me, they just had incisions on my stomach. They were like one here, 3 incisions, you know, and they say they go in with I didn't see anything, but they go in with some robotic hands, and then they watch it on the screen, and and then got rid of the whole thing, you know. So that's what happened. That's why I got lost more. And yeah, so they did the surgery, and because they don't really cut you open, the recovery is quite quick.
Right.
Because they did the surgery on a Friday, and I stayed in the hospital for the Friday. That Friday evening, the nurse came to me and says, we have to go for a walk. I'm like, I'm in pain. He said, yes. But it's required that you take some small walks, you know. So as painful as it was, I had to get up and go for a walk around the ward and things like that. Saturday, yes, Kofi. Yeah. You know, yeah. And so then you start getting the pain, you know, later, because they have incisions, you know. It gets very, very painful. But the healing doesn't take too long, sir, you know.
So let's say, how long did it take, the healing process?
The healing process? Right. Well, I can say I'm still healing, really.
Right.
Because right now I'm not supposed to lift weight beyond a certain amount. You know, so I'm not. When I'm fully healed, then I can probably do that. You know, and then I still go on my walks, but not as fast as I used to. You know, yeah. But I go brisk walking. But
how are you feeling?
Pardon?
How are you feeling?
I feel great.
You look great.
I do?
You look great.
Thank you.
No. Papa, you look great.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I do.
You really do
Yeah.
look great.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that.
You do.
Coming from you, I believe it.
No. You do. You really do. Because, I mean, and we had a WhatsApp conversation, and I was really worried.
Yeah. You're one of the few people I told. It was before the surgery, eh?
I was really worried.
Yeah.
I was really worried.
And I bought the book that you told me to buy.
You did?
I got the audio version, so it's on my, what do you call, audio book.
Have you listened?
Have the Yellow Sun.
Half of a Yellow Sun.
I haven't finished, but it's spot on.
Finish the book.
As soon as you told me, I said, I have to get the audio.
Finish that book.
Really? I will.
Because I had cancer. And, I mean, for an older man, when you hear cancer, it's just so scary. And then I had surgery. I was like, huh? You know, so I'm just like, God, like, because, Charlie, this, from last year to this year, it's just been one, you know, after the other. And I just the truth is also that I wasn't prepared for it. Like, I just didn't think that you were away, yes, maybe you on a break to go for the daughter's wedding and take a little vacation, that's allowed. But, I, you know, so when I got that message, it went great, I'm fine. Yay! Like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy, really happy to have you back. I want us to take lessons. And only because I can relate. I don't know if my mom she's okay for me to say this, but I had a similar thing happen to us last year where she just randomly went for a checkup, my mom too. And then one of these wonderful situations, you know, and she had to do other tests to determine if this is what, if that is what, which also ended up in surgery. And I think that perhaps it's a conversation that needs to be had for when we turn 60.
Yeah.
Because all of these things it all happens random. Like she wasn't sick. There was nothing wrong with her.
Then all of a sudden,
fine. It's just a regular checkup she went for.
Yeah. And you're spot on, you know, because and I tell people if you know, knock on wood, if the worst, you know, I go for my walks, I go to Legon, they know me there, they go to the gym, and I'm saying, all this time I was going back and forth, I had cancer growing me, I didn't know. If anything had happened and I had died, you know, just yesterday was at the gym. And that's what they say, you know. Say, he was a strong guy.
He was strong.
He was strong.
He was doing his shows. I was on a walk with
Yes, and not gone. You know. So to get to a point, Charlie, folks, checking up, going for checkups is so very, very, very important. You know, you never know what you find. I would have never thought ever, you know, that I had cancer.
And to that, there was nothing wrong.
I was okay. My appetite was good. I go for my walks. I go to the gym. I have fun. I work late. You know, nothing was wrong. Nothing. And so I was telling people, I now realize that there's a difference between being fit and being healthy. You know, I was fit. You know, I had a good what do you call that? My blood pressure was good. Everything. I was very, very fit. You know, cardio, everything was good. I was fit. But when it comes to health, I had some major health issues that I didn't know. You know, so you can be as fit as you are, but you may have some health issues that you didn't know. You know, and it happens to people.
Right.
Well, this guy, there's nothing wrong. You know, but you never know. So the best way you can find out is just do a checkup. You know, go for checkups, and especially men. You know, men, even 60. What trying to do?
And
40.
40.
You know,
right.
Just do the checkups, because I realize that there are so many ailments that we have that we just take for granted. Say, so people think, oh, because you are old, it's natural that you pee every 10 minutes.
It's normal.
It's normal, you know. I have a very, very good friend, and at one point before my surgery, we were comparing notes about, hey, Charlie, can you believe everyone I have to pee at? Like, I said, oh. And he says, he has got to the point where he has a pee can in his car.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that sometimes when he's driving and it hits him, you know, he's not going to go now look for a bathroom, so he just does it in his car. So he said, you see in traffic nicely, you know. See in traffic nicely, you don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
He was surprised.
Yeah, mental note, never look in people's cars.
So he was so surprised that I don't. So you don't carry anything in the car?
No, you're on your own.
So, you know, that's it. You know, it's you just accept it as normal. Right. Okay, now I carry my can, you know.
Right.
And I'm sure the American can carriers out there, nothing could be wrong. It could just be age.
Right. But
Could
just
be age.
check.
But just check and see. You know, as guys say, I no age. You never know, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Well, if I want us to take a break.
Please.
I want us to take a quick break. When we come back, now we'll talk about your show, proper. Because there are some things I want to see.
Yeah.
So let's take a break. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll right back. Stay with us.
Whatever the occasion, with ATL, you can never be out of style. ATL, bringing fabric to life. whatever the occasion, with ATL, you can never be out of style. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
Welcome back from the break. This is The Couch. My name is Amma Pratt, and this evening I am in conversation with my Wofa, KSM. Again, I just want to say thank you, because I know that this is a conversation that definitely needs to be had. I think that, I don't know if it's a Ghanaian thing or if it's a black thing, but we just kind of take our health for granted, and until something actually happens, nobody ever checks anything.
Yeah.
And there are times when we actually get sick and we self-medicate, and by we I mean me.
But we all do it. Yeah.
I can't imagine the number of times I've been told, just go to the hospital, and Dr. Amma would tell whoever I say, oh, I know what it is. So yeah, this is definitely a conversation that definitely needs to be had. But then again, it brings up this issue of lifestyle, doesn't it? In the process, I'm guessing that now you have some doctors, through the interactions and counseling and stuff like that, I'm sure they've said things to you that we can learn from. Are there specific lifestyle choices that we make that predispose us?
Yeah, I think lifestyle really boils down to your diet, your physical fitness activity, and your rest. Yeah. People have no idea how much stress is just really, I hate to use the word killing, but stress, we are so stressed out, so I think people should really now start understanding, how do you manage your stress? It's not easy, but how do you manage your stress? We have to develop our thinking to the point that when there's something that is really weighing down heavily on us, we have to find ways to let it go and back off a bit to reduce the stress. Because stress is deadly. Stress creates toxins in you, and you have no idea. And rest too. I don't do it. I've been told I don't have to rest per se.
We do not prioritize rest. We don't. It's not a thing.
We don't.
Like on my list of things to do, or my list. No, nobody does that.
We are all very, very busy. We get up, we're moving, and all of that, adds up to our lifestyle changes that we need to think about. Take it easy a bit, and pull back small. The world will go on without you anyway.
It's such a harsh truth.
So, yeah,
the world goes on.
It moves on. It moves on. The first few days of your not being there creates painful. They get over it and they move on. People, they'll get over it and move on. So this is the interesting paradox, that everybody has a role to play in this world, but at the same time, nobody is indispensable in this world. You fall down today and you go, trust me, a few hiccups, the world just moves on. So know that you're not going to change the world. Change what you can, identify your sphere of influence and do that. But don't carry the world on,
You can't even give from a place of emptiness, can you? You need to refuel to be able to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, and the diet too. I'm the last person to talk about diet because my diet and oh, please. And yo, oh. Oh. So I'm the last person to advise on diet, but I know, because even the few changes I've been able to make, I feel the difference.
Changes like what?
Changes like even reducing my intake of red meat. You know, sometimes I pretend to me crab, but I know I can't.
We have cheat days.
We have cheat days, eh? A good friend of mine says, "Oh, I've stopped eating red meat, but it doesn't affect goat." I'm eating red meat, but maybe I'm point. She will say, "What are you talking about?"
And then green meat.
And the green meat, you know. You know, but at the end of the day, moderation is the key.
Right.
Moderation. Everything in excess is not good. So let's try to be moderate, you know. I used to be a salt freak. It rings a bell. Once I have the plate in front of me, I have to reach for the salt and sprinkle, even before I taste it. You know, and I didn't think it would be possible ever for me to go easy on salt. But after a while, I did it, you know, I wasn't enjoying the meals, you know, but gradually. But now, I've acquired the taste for less salt. I won't say no salt, you know. And I feel the difference because I measure my blood pressure every day, and the difference between now and what I had before is just like day and night, you know. So that's what I'm talking about. Little things, you know. Sugar doesn't do anything good for anybody, but you know. But be bold, try either you cut down on the sugar or even stop sugar. I hear sugar and cancer, their bodies, so they say if you eat too much sugar, any kind of cancer you're developing feeds a lot on sugar. I'm not being medical, I don't understand the medical thing, but sugar like this is not that good for us. You know, little things that you can change, you know, and do that. And please, your exercise routine. Because even the doctor told me that after the surgery, one of the doctors said, you seem to do a lot of exercise, huh? I said, like, yeah, how did you know? He says my vitals were good throughout the whole thing.
And it helps, doesn't it?
And it helps. You know, so even though I say it's a different thing from being healthy and fit, don't give up exercising and say, oh, my exercise, but maybe I'm not healthy. No. Never give up. Because you get into situations, and it helps. It helps with your recovery, it helps with your ability to fight back, it helps with your immune system and everything. So exercising, please, I am not saying get up and be just for people of my age, I do more. But if you are my age, 20 to 30 minutes a day, brisk walking. That's all you need. Every morning around your house, just take a nice brisk walk. You know, if you are strong enough to jog, but don't. Walking is perfect. If you're a swimmer, brisk walking. Don't go a stroll like you are walking in the Garden of Eden, looking for Adam who is naked. You know, just nice brisk walking and burn some energy. And that's working on cardio, you know. And so, please, I think it's very, very important that we make these lifestyle changes, you know, and go easy on the so much, you know.
The excesses.
The excesses.
The salt.
Yes.
Sradinam.
Sradinam.
Oh. The number of times I'll say, I like the part with a little oil. But when you take it off, it's not as sumptuous.
It's true. Oh, you know, my daughters in New York who do this nice dish and everything. But where's the oil? That's why they know it. You know, a little bit, you know. You want to want to say, okay. But they also mean you crowd the mommy. we try our best, but at the
Right.
end of the day, you know, you don't do what you can do, and you know. And the life goes on, man.
Let me read a few of the messages. This one says, "Hi. In fact, I love this program. Help me get in touch with KSM. I want to make some important enquiries from him." You didn't add your name or where you're sending the message from, but I would no, do that. You send your name and where you're sending the message from, and Ofa would be happy to listen to all your inquiries. This one says, "I'm Benson from Sierra Leone. I'm really enjoying the show. Keep it up." Okay. Right. So for those who are sending in, who are trying to call, stop, because I can't pick the call. It's a live show. Just keep sending a message and I promise I'll read it. This one says, "Good evening, Amma. Thank you so much for bringing Uncle KSM tonight. Very insightful topic. My late grandfather died of prostate cancer, so I am very scared about this particular cancer. This is a wake-up call. I think I need to go and examine myself because of the family lineage. God bless you, Uncle KSM, for opening up about this issue." Ni Ivan does one. Hi, Ni, and Ni's a regular on the show. He brings up something that I wanted us to talk about for a bit. He says he's scared.
He's scared.
He's scared, and it's a familiar emotion, isn't it? When it comes to health, did you have to deal with that?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons I kept not going for the test checkup, I said, if I don't know, I'm okay. You know, it's like when I find out, even the fear alone will kill me. So I was very comfortable not knowing. Why rush to go and know? But please, 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 that's the last thing. See it as when you have early detection, you have help. They're able to do it when they detect it early. My eldest brother, may he rest in peace, was sort of like a late detection, you know. So I think we understand that. And these days, medicine has advanced so much. This is what my doctor said, and it was very nice to hear it. And for those of you who are scared of listening, he says there's so much technology and so much advancement regarding prostate cancer. He says prostate cancer doesn't have to kill anyone. Yeah, he says people can die with prostate cancer, but they don't die of prostate cancer.
Wow.
Prostate cancer.
Yes. No, but that's very good news.
Yeah, people die with prostate cancer, but they don't die of
it.
prostate cancer. You know, so please, the Ivan who said he's scared, please don't be scared, because there's enough medication and advances, studies that once it is discovered, that if in the unlikely situation that you have it, they can really help. Prostate has become what do you call it? Almost like not as simple as you have a cold here, but there are ways to fix it. You know,
and it's in the knowing that you can get the help.
It's in the knowing that you can get the help. Don't be scared. But please, if you have a family history, if somebody just said his grandfather, yeah, please pay more attention. If you have if it's in the family, please pay attention, because sometimes it's a genetic thing. It's not anything you have done that has caused this.
Not lifestyle.
Yeah, it's not life. It could be
the
healthiest. I'm doing my gymming and everything, and I had it. Because it's a family tree. I don't know who else had it, but I know my eldest brother did. So for those of you who are in the family, it's very, very important. So they pay so much attention to family history when you go to the doctors, you know, especially in the US. They want to know your great-grandfather, if you know of their health. They want to know everything, because sometimes the lineage can be a problem. So don't be scared. Just be bold enough to go check it, and then, you know.
Okay. And I'm reading this from Facebook. I like to read from everywhere. This one is from Suleimana Abdul Rahim, and he says, "This man is just one in Ghana." And you like my hair? Oh, thank you. I like my hair too. Salifu Mudasi says, "This man is unique. I love him so much. I'm watching from Italy. Bingo, takes me straight to the show.
Wow.
Straight to the show. So, and there's a question that kept coming to my mind the whole time. I don't know how you're going to take this question.
Try me.
I don't know how you're going to take this, but I'm going to ask it. How do you think continuity? And I was saying this to you earlier. This is such a legendary brand. This KSM brand. It's so huge. I mean, from when I was how old till now, and it's a lot of things. It's a brand that's about TV. It's about theater. It's about just depth. Because I can never get over listening to you speak about religion and how we are engaging with religion and what it means for us, and how that conversation is still relevant today, and how that gave a lot of Ghanaians the impetus to even start to question. Because until you know, sort of came at all of us and put a mirror to our faces, we hadn't sort of realized what was happening there. You know, as Ghanaians, God-loving, because it seemed as though to even question it was to question God. In those days, I remember this so clearly. And for me, some of the reasons why I hold you in such high esteem, because it was almost revolutionary. For people to now sit back and think, wait a minute, something is wrong here. And it sort of gave birth to a lot of thinking about how, as a people, we're engaging with religion. So for me, the brand KSM, it's a huge tree with so many branches, right? Continuity of our day.
Continuity. I think, well, you have said continuity. I just see in my mind consistency, you know, just identifying what you believe in, why you believe in that, why do you have that conviction of this belief, and once you're very, very sure of your conviction, then be consistent with it.
Right.
You know, things may go up, things may go down, all the changes and everything, but be consistent.
With what you are doing.
With what you're doing, with what you believe in.
Are you training Ya to take over?
I think Ya is automatic. She's going to become an automatic takeover, you know. And when I was introducing her, I was teasing that, you know, it's all about family and friends.
Of course.
I said, I been joked that Miss Miffy Chev you.
I'm here.
Yeah, family and friends more and things, you know. But honestly, my confidence in Ya is not because she's family.
Right.
It's just that she is exemplary.
Right.
You know, she is competent and qualified to take over.
I mean, how about the theater?
Theater.
How about that aspect?
Yeah.
How about that?
In terms of what am I going to...
I mean, how do you keep at it? Because what you do is different from what everybody else does. Now we don't have anybody doing stand-up the way that you did it. It's not the same. I'm sorry, guys, but it's not.
Plenty of them.
It's not the same.
Yeah. Well, the key thing with me is that for my undergraduate, I studied theater arts. Okay. And under theater arts, I majored in directing and acting. Okay. And in acting, there's a whole course that we studied called understanding the comedic structure.
Right.
You know, understanding the structure of comedy. You know, so it's like I studied that as a what do you call that? As an academic exercise,
Right.
understanding the structure of comedy, right? And so when I came to Ghana, getting into comedy was just an accident. I never see myself as a comedian. No, I can make people laugh. I have a sense of humor, but not somebody that is a comedian, if you will.
Right.
You know.
Right.
What happened with the first show that I did, The Saga of the Returnee, which was one of the biggest hits I've ever done, was when I was in Ghana. You know, when I came to Ghana, I did radio for a long time, and my wife teased me that you want to study acting and film, and now you're a radio guy, talk on radio. I don't think you can even act again. I said, are you kidding me? So she dared me.
I love your wife. I love her.
Yeah, she dared me, and we took a bet. I said, I'm going to write a show, and I'm going to act in it as a bet to prove to her that I still got it, man.
You got
I can
it.
do it.
You got it.
I could do it. You know, so that's what, when I wrote The Saga of the Returnee, just to prove to her that, I didn't know, or you don't lose it, you know. So I wrote The Saga of the Returnee, put it on stage, and bam, became the biggest thing ever. It was a dare. It was a bet. Okay. And this is the thing. Because I studied that, understanding the comedic structure, what I did was I wrote a play. And if I can take a second to explain, a play has a beginning, middle, and an end. It has a story. It has you can trace it from the beginning to the climax to the end. It has characters, has everything. That's a play.
It says.
Yes. Stand-up comedy is different. Stand-up comedy is just you stand up and you tell one joke after the other. Oh, my father did it, quack, 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 and my mother, quack, 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 quack. You know, it's telling joke after joke after joke. After, that is stand-up comedy. What I did, though, I wrote a full-length play, right? But I put in so much humor, and I performed it. I think that The Saga of the Returnee has about 5 characters, you know. Went through all these characters. But because it was a one-man person on stage, when they were reviewing it, they described it as stand-up. It was not stand-up.
Right.
It's a one-man play,
Right.
a full-length play. It was not stand-up.
Right.
However, Ghanaians took it as, hey, I want to stand up, you know. So by accident, everyone started talking stand-up, then I'm saying,
That became it.
You know, but it wasn't really stand-up comedy. It was a one-man play,
Right.
you know.
We're from Pachokasa. Please
Sorry.
go on.
So since it did so well and people started enjoying it, I said, okay, looks like there's a market for this. Okay, let's try another one. So from The Saga of the Returnee, then I wrote Politically Incorrect, which also blew, you know.
Right.
Thanks to the president of J.J. Rollins who came to see the play, and I just made him a part of the whole show, and he just took off like that, you know. That too was a one-man play, but it was still termed stand-up. So, just to go back to the question, if what I do is any different from what people see, is because I don't do the routine comedy. I do a one-man play. I just make it funny, but the structure and everything is different
theater.
from telling a series of jokes.
It's
That's the
theater.
difference.
It's theater. And
Yeah, it's theater.
My question really is, who is taking over?
Who's taking over?
I mean, are you consciously training someone?
No, I'm afraid I am not consciously training someone. 2 of them, I don't want to mention their names, you know, came to my office once and actually started training with me. No, 3 of them actually. I won't mention their name. They'll come and I'll set up my, what do you call, the chalkboard or whatever. And we were going through things. You know, how to develop character, everything. I was telling them the technique I use. And they were very, 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 very interested. But their interest fizzled because I don't know whether I got too complicated. I don't know what happened. You know, but there were 3 of them. Off
I hope
air,
they are
off air,
watching.
I'll tell you who they are. But
and I hope that they run back quickly, you know, because it's a space that it's an amazing space. I think that if for nothing at all, it got us looking at things from other perspectives that we hadn't considered, you know. And it's easier to tell people truth to their faces if it comes in the form of humor, isn't it? We take it.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to say, okay,
take it and laugh and then
right.
say, "I am Paul."
I am Paul. I am Paul. Instead
Yeah.
of, you know, coming hard at somebody with the truth in it. So I think that there's a big place for it, you know. I mean, and it's yours. That space, that's you did for Ghana. Nobody can ever, you know. But then I'm thinking continuity. How do we keep it going?
Well, the interest must be there. Somebody must want to do it. Somebody must be eager to find out how it is done, you know, and then just avail themselves to. But I think people just assume that I'm also doing it.
No, you're not.
You know.
No.
It's not my place to tell you are not doing it.
No, you're not.
You have your style that you're doing, that's fine, you know, but the in-depth one.
No, you're not. Whatever you think you're doing, and that is not it. If I have an amazing team, you know, you have an amazing, and this is what I wanted to tell you, you have an amazing team coming on your show. Of course, Shanghai is here. You know, both of us are wearing white for victory. I was telling you that the two of us we've taken on the thing over. Even you're wearing brown. Me and Shanghai, you're wearing white. You know, you have an amazing team, and I was wondering how you do that. How do you keep a team so motivated? Because the vim on your set. And I was telling you, I wish I could bottle it, you know, bottle it and move around with that vim. Like, take a bit of the vim and keep going. How do you keep a team so, there's Hannah, how do you?
Yeah, I think the most important thing that I do is hire young people. See my team, you know, well, compared to who I am, you know. Yeah, you know, the director, the editor, you know. Every time I work with a very young team, because I find that they are more dynamic, their eagerness to work, their enthusiasm is high. And that's what I feed off, you know. I can't imagine working with older folk, mature folk who are more slower, and you know, it will kill my momentum, you know. And I have very, very, very high vim myself.
Devi, vim your own vim your vim is younger than me.
So it's just that I surround myself with young guys, you know, and I feed off their enthusiasm. Their energy is brilliant, you know. So I think that's my whole thing, you know. The people that I work with, they keep me relevant, you know. I know what is going on because the people that I work with are in that space. You see. So maybe technically, I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, family.
Yeah, you're not free. You're not free. Yeah.
Because I love your team.
Yeah,
I do. And it's a great vibe to be on your set. It's,
Thank you.
It is.
So you should come back.
You
should come back.
It is. Okay, let's talk about your biggest interview. When you came back, you know, not over the years. I mean, over the years, you to me, Kabe, you know. But when you came, at least when you came to Pan African TV, and you came like this, you know, with a storm, and that was the Chikata interview. Listen, the social media, because we are on platforms, you know. I'm part of the social media platform, that group, that WhatsApp group. Then there's a larger Pan African TV group. I mean, so many groups within the establishment. And I remember one of our colleagues, our comrades, he's from Congo. I remember him screen grabbing the Facebook, feed as the show was going on, sending it to one of the groups and asking, "Are you guys sure this is the Pan-African page?" because the numbers were crazy, and the numbers normally fluctuate in a show. As the show is going on, it goes down, it comes up, like that. But with that interview, it was just consistently high, and on all the platforms, on YouTube the same. First of all, how? Because I know that he doesn't grant interviews by heart like that too. So first of all, how did you land, that interview, and also, I mean, just talk us through that experience.
How did I land the interview? I think that is where, age also, as much as I like, thank you, as much as I like working with young folks.
What's more asked?
I've attained a certain age and status too that the older folks, my age group, identify with. You see, so that's what I use to target certain people that I want to host. Is that age thing? It's like we are colleagues more or less. It's a very, very different thing. You have a very, very young person trying to target, So I think that's where I use that age thing, the stature thing, the brand thing that you're talking about.
Pedigree.
The pedigree. Yeah, the pedigree. Thank you for the word. Yeah. So I throw that in sometimes, and I think that's that. And he's somebody that I know for a long time.
Right.
Known for a long time, way back. Yes, from when I arrived in the U.S. to Ghana, that far back. I've known him. We've met. So when it got to a point where history had put him in a position where he was very, very instrumental in the very, very, very dramatic decisions that he was like the center of attention, I said, okay, let me pull my pedigree. Pull my pedigree and give him a call and see what we can arrange.
Right.
And
did you expect that kind of reaction? Did you expect that kind of reaction? Did you expect the numbers? I tell you, I have people say to me then that everybody in Ghana was watching that interview. People have said that to me, that Amma, that KSM show, everybody in Ghana was watching it. Did you expect that?
I knew it would have very high viewership though, because the timing, it was all about the timing too. If I had interviewed him around now, people would have watched, but it wouldn't have been
the same
as then. The timing really, really counted.
It was
and also, strategically for me, that was the first show I did.
Yes.
On Pan-African.
Listen, it was like, boom.
So I said, well, since I'm making a move, I might as well move with a heavyweight that can draw attention.
So you shut it down.
So I called him.
You shut it down.
We talked and he said, yeah, sure, why not? And the wife was so kind too. Said, yeah, why not? So we all put our minds together and then we pulled it off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll tell you a story. There's, we're allowed to put, and these are backdoor conversation, but I mean, let's have it. We're allowed to put some commercials on it, if you remember. And I remember getting a call from somebody whose commercial we put on it. I think the next day, I was just home, and I get a call and I pick up and he says, Amma, Jamin show. I was like, wow.
Because it was your time. You gave me a Tuesday, right? No.
The second time it was. The first time was your own time.
The first time was my own time. Oh, the second time was your time.
Yes.
Okay.
The second time.
Okay.
I remember that call. So I was like, what? Now, when we talk about pedigree and the fallout from pedigree, this is it. This right here is it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Your other interviews, like you said, are so current. And again, of course, it comes to pedigree, because if KSM calls you and says, hey, come for an interview, I know you're running. Right? But how do you decide? you know, on who makes it, who doesn't make it. Because I'm thinking that for a brand like yours, you're also very conscious about, let me not bring somebody here who doesn't deserve my space, right?
Yeah. And I won't mention any specific names or anything, but there are some characters that I will never have. There's some characters that I will never, ever. You know, I think they will destroy the whole idea what I'm trying to create. Yeah.
Wholesomeness of the KSM brand.
You see, so
Right.
so definitely yes.
Right.
I decide. But when I started the show, the first thing I said to myself was that everybody has a voice. Everybody has a voice. It's not just the voice of the celebrity or the voice of politicians or the voice of anything. Everybody has a voice. You know, so I remember back then I interviewed Auntie Moni. She sells wache in Labone. Long ago, yeah. I interviewed this woman who you remember there was this story about how JJ had gone to borrow beans ni garibi from some celebrity, Yoko Gari.
Yes.
I found out the woman, and I went and did an interview with her, you know. So it was like the platform was open to everybody. I'll be interviewing this Yoko Gari seller. The next time I'll be interviewing the president. They don't have a voice. So that's my principle. Everybody has a voice, you know. Except that the voices are now getting, how do I put it? You know.
So I'll let you put it. I'll just say I will let you put it.
Let me put it.
You put it off.
Yeah, I've been listening. I've been listening, trying to get a voice, you know. But it's a hunadoso, you know. So it's hard now. It's harder for me, you know.
Right. And on this issue of Hunadoso, now in our space, relevance means notoriety. Like you have to sort of deliberately court bad press somehow.
Yeah.
You know, to get the numbers, to get the eyeballs, and it's hard.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's hard if you choose not to play that kind of game.
Right.
You know, and we are in a business where you thrive on eyeballs. And the people who are going to put money on your show are putting it because they know that it has eyeballs. So when you get to the point where you say, the things that I should do to attract the eyeballs are below me, I won't do them, it's sort of saying, then I don't want to be in the business. You know, but that's why I talk about consistency. Then find something else. Find some other thing to cover that and make it exciting without sinking to the gutter.
Too low. I was recently talking to somebody, and if I also tell you off air, you know, and I was asking the question about some choices, you know, that are made on his, and you know, how strange I thought, and I wanted to know, I mean, why do you have to do this? You know, and he said to me, have you checked the numbers? When I do that, do you see the numbers? And I've been doing this for so long, but I'm still on top in terms of the numbers and how it works, you know. So you ask yourself, I mean, is it the devil in the deep blue sea? is that the kind of situation we are working with? Must you be overly dramatic, even absurd, just to get? I mean, it's
just to get
tricky,
eyeballs,
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so tricky. Anyway, Ofa, we live in Ghana today. We levy. Ofa, you're back, oh.
I'm back.
You're back to Levy. How are you feeling?
How am I feeling
How
about
are
the
you feeling?
E-Levy?
Are you feeling your fuel? You know, are you? This is you don't say fill the tank.
Hey. You can't say fill the tank, oh.
Fill the tank over. Oh dear.
Where is Shagai? Let me. Can't say fill
Oh dear. Oh, but you can't say fill the tank, oh.
Hey, I remember this guy. He must have been joking. The place where I buy my fuel. Okay, so I'm in Filiana. I'm sure, yeah. Hey, guys, I'm in Philly. Because I used to do that a lot, you know.
Right.
Oh, tell Philly, mommy. You know. Now those two words, Suleiman, Charlie. But to say it's okay, the whole world is expressing the whole world, so it's okay. Well, it's really not, you know. It's hard. It's really, really, really is hard.
It's hard.
You know?
It's hard.
Yeah, it's tough. Times are tough.
Let me pick your mind. I don't know how much you followed all of these parliamentary proceedings about quorum and all these issues. I don't know if you followed that conversation. And this very recent one, in passing the e-levy, a minority decides to walk out, stage a walkout, because we are testing the Supreme Court's decision, and if they will stand by this thing about quorum, because the issue is that indeed the numbers didn't favor, you know, decision making in Parliament. And of course, the fallout of that is that it's been passed anyway. The walkout did not stop, you know. And this whole time, the minority has been very consistent, very sort of focused in fighting the e-levy, you know. So it's sort of like an anticlimax. So all of these months of fighting and sort of fighting in our interest, fighting against the e-levy, and then when it came to crunch time, deciding to stage a walkout, you know, of course, with hopes, it's a risk they took, isn't it? With hopes that this is going to turn out this way, that we are on the side of the law. We just went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court just said you need these numbers for quorum. And so thinking that, well, now the Supreme Court would have to literally eat back its words or take a look again at its decision, or then it becomes sort of we're at an impasse. It can't go. But then it went anyway. The president has assented. You know, so the e-levies are reality now. How do you feel about that?
Has the Supreme Court actually come out and said
We are waiting
anything?
for them.
That's what I'm waiting for too, you know. I just want to find out if the Supreme Court will say, yeah, we had said that the quorum should be 138. It wasn't 138, so it is not a legal action. Or why this time is a legal action. That's what I'm waiting for, you know.
Are you hopeful?
Pardon?
Are you hopeful?
Hopeful that
The Supreme Court would
come out?
Would be consistent with its earlier decision?
I believe in consistency. I'll be very, 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 very surprised if they weren't.
Okay.
You know.
It's in course. We can't have a full conversation. We can only wait.
We can only wait.
We can only
So
wait.
let's see. Eventually, you know.
We can only wait. But do you think that was and sorry that I'm staying here. Do you think, because that conversation has also, it's also rife, if it was a good risk the minority took? Do you think it was?
So long as the Supreme Court has ruled that you need X amount of people present to become a quorum, and the minority said, or they are telling us that, okay, the way we can deal with this, instead of staying here and fighting and doing all that,
each other.
yeah, let us get out of it so that there's no quorum, and that in itself is some kind of filibuster that will prevent the vote from being taken. Then yeah, it makes sense. If the Supreme Court has actually made this pronouncement, then what they did makes sense. That strategy made sense.
Right.
So that's what I'm waiting to hear, whether the Supreme Court will say, yeah, we have said this and that's what it is, so this is not legal. Or, no, maybe according to the Black Law book from the UK, you know, can we end right about here? Maybe the Black's Law has something else to tell us. I don't know. But I'm waiting for whatever the decision will be, you know. Then I can make my commentary.
Well, for interesting times in Ghana.
Very, 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 very.
You see why you have to do one more theater? See? Or should I come and talk to the missus?
You may
and let her dare you again.
Let her
dare you again. Because it's interesting.
I think there's so much material to do a show. So much material, you know. And what's his name? Sam SL, if you're listening, or if you're not listening, anybody who knows Sam SL, call him and tell him We are on course.
We are on course. I love that. We are on course.
I haven't even called Sam
course.
since I got back, you know, but we are working on a project,
Right.
you know, and he's like being extremely helpful.
You see,
But
every time you come here, we have an announcement. You know, yeah. Because there's so much fodder, there's so much material.
Oh, there's so much material. It's amazing.
So much
It
material.
is amazing.
There is.
It is amazing.
There
yeah.
is.
And
It's
it would
time
be
to put
sad-
that mirror to Ghana again. Look at yourself.
Yeah. It would be sad not to do it.
Right.
It would be very, very sad.
Right.
You know, I don't think posterity will forgive me
Yes.
if I don't come up with the final act.
If I would forget to say to me, cry.
I should forget
Forget
posterity.
to say to me. I will forgive you. I will.
I hear you.
I
I hear you.
Because you're back with so much swagger.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's time.
It's time. Yeah, we'll do something about it, you know.
It's definitely time.
And coming, having gone through this, it's like I've been giving a fresh, clean air, it's like a breath of fresh air for a new life, you know, to do more exciting things, you know. So we'll see what we can do to excite people, you know, before whatever will happen, you know.
I want us to end on a high, you know, only because a little birdie in white with cornrows on his head whispered to us earlier about a test that was done recently.
Oh. You know, the PSA, the range, the normal range, I think I said before, is between 0 and 4.
Right.
If you go 5, 6, it means your PSA is escalating. But the normal range is between 0 and 4. You know. So after the surgery, the doctor says after 2 months, especially exactly 2 months, go and take another PSA test so that we can have a video conference and look at the results of that test, because that will advise us on where we go from here, you know. And he said that he hopes that the PSA will be within the normal range, you know, but he said specifically be at least 4. You know. So I went for the PSA test just last
to
week.
recap, it was 56, and then it got to 57.
Yeah,
Right.
it was 56 to 57,
Right.
yeah. So 2 months after the surgery or the operation, I went for a recent PSA test last week. And guess what the score was?
Tell us.
0. You know, 0. And even with a 0, because of the nature of cancer, it's not like this. You have to keep checking, and so that, you know, you keep monitoring, you know. So I guess my final advice to men, especially men and women should all go for checkups, you know. Somehow women do it better than men. Men are, it's already time, you know. So men, I beg you, if you are 40, start from 40. Just do your checkups, you know. It may not be prostate, it may be something else that they discover, you know. And early detection, you're good with early detection. Do your workouts and don't be stressed out, man. In Ghana now, one way you stress become. So you have to manage it by watching the couch.
Yes.
So you can relax small and enjoy
your life.
wonderful interviews and enjoy your life, you know. You know.
Opa, it's great to have you back.
My pleasure. Thank you very, very much.
It's great. It's amazing to have you back. We can't say thank you to Gideon enough. You know, that he prompted you to go and take a test. We cannot. We can't say thank you to the doctors. You know, enough. You know that we have you back. And just like you said, it's our second chance so far. Now we are in your hands, so work on us. Work on us. Trail us. Blow our minds.
Yeah.
Blow our minds.
I will.
Blow our minds with theater, with the show, with everything.
Yes.
We want more of you. I remember if you ask Shrebo, you know, give us all of that back.
Yeah.
All
I was
of
writing
that.
on Fear. I came up with a title that I really thought would be great. Fear at menopause. I beg you. You know, let me catch up with the Fear that she's at menopause. So,
Fear at menopause.
she's a very different
Wow.
person now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you too.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be
Thank
here.
you so much.
As
Thank you.
always.
As always. And there's something that we would do eventually. We still haven't done. We haven't danced. But we are not dancing today. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not supposed to dance for a while.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
No, but we are not dancing because you will come back.
I'll come back.
Yes.
I'll come back. And
You
yes.
have a whole show dedicated to dancing.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, yeah, we will do that. Well, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to hear that you are well, to see for myself that you are
Yes.
well, that the swagger is back. You know,
And thank you for all the support and
wow.
recommending books for me and telling me go get this book and read it. And
We
get
will
this
come
book.
back and review.
We will come back
I
and
was setting
review.
you up, oh.
Fun.
I was setting you up.
You're setting me
I
up.
was just setting you up.
Okay. Okay.
I want you to read so we come back and review.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
So we'll do another show.
We'll do another show. Yep.
But thank you.
Thank you too.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
And there's so much to look forward to now that you're back.
Yes.
Now that you're back. Yeah, that's it.
Miss
Yeah,
Me
that's
das.
it. Thank you so much. Well, this has been our show. It's always a vibe, always a delight with KSM. Anytime, just watching him, having the opportunity, you know, an opportunity I don't take for granted at all, to sit down and to listen to him. I love the way this one thinks. You know, I love his energy. I love everything there is about him. I'm happy, and you heard it from him. You know, the need for us to take a pause every now and then to sort of just relax, but more importantly, the need to consistently go and check, you know, our health. My Wofa is a fit man. He's fit. You know, he exercises. It doesn't get better than that at his age. And yet, when he went to check, there was a health situation. So please, all of us, this is a wake-up call for me. I hope that it is for you too, that we need to keep checking. We need to keep checking. But we are celebrating. See me in white. You know, Waf's team is also in white. We are all celebrating. We are grateful to God to have him back. You know, our second chance to enjoy him more. So already, I'm asking that anything that Wafa comes out, by Wafa I mean KSM, comes up with, all of us are supporting 100. So the next theater production, we are all going. I'm coming. I want to see you. Everything that he does, 100 support for the awesomeness that we have in this man and the need for us to keep celebrating him now that we have him again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.